visually mesmerizing dance film. There's so many mysteries to this film, and its setting is also really interesting. It's such a fascinating dystopic energy to this film, and the setting and the use of black and white adds to this. It's sort of this wild dystopic world that we get a glimpse into by watching this film. I love the music. It sounds very epic, like the score of an action film. The dance in this film is just hypnotic and enthralling watching these people. And it feels almost as if a ceremony is being performed in this film. Everyone has very interesting costumes on. So yeah, just a lot of mysteries to this film. So it was really interesting to watch and sort of guess as to what was happening. And visually, it was stunning.
They were highly styled and individually done. I really liked that. It was interesting to check out who was wearing what in that piece. Was it a ceremony or some sort of a ritual? An interesting story happening here. And I like the rise in action as the dancers perform in unison, progressively faster for a climactic finish. And I thought it reminded me of clockwork in the workings of a wristwatch, say, where the coordinated movement of the mechanisms, they all have their own job, but they're moving at the same time and in the same rhythm. I really like the choreography.
This beautiful contrast of blacks and whites against, the gray, and the whole thing was in black and white, but also in the costuming and everything. I thought the interesting styling aspects and choices of the costuming, and even in the dance style, it made it appear very futuristic. Also, like not of this world, like as if we were looking and peering into another place that is not of our own. It had ethereal aspects in it as well. It felt like we were sort of witnessing a society. There was uniformity in the way the dancers were moving and the way the dancers were dressed that I thought made it really interesting and visually compelling.
A great combination of music, interplay between light and dark. Obviously, the black and white aesthetic created a very sort of creepy horror culty feel that I thought was the intent of the narrative. But also, I felt like there was a level of a spiritual energy and sort of a human sort of exploration of what it means to express yourself. I thought made a lot of sense within the construct of the piece, especially in a short amount of time. I thought they were able to establish a variety of moods and moments within the dance performances that I thought worked quite well. And I thought that the approach to time in terms of fast forward or in reverse reflected some themes that the piece was trying to explore that I thought was pretty effective given the combination of the music and the performances.
There is a distinct notion that is made here. We have this elevation, so to speak, in the production design, and everybody who sits upon this pedestal, this elevation, so to speak, every single character is wearing white. Most of them are perceived to be women, and it's really kind of nice to see this. One common thread is the fact that they're all wearing white, but there's so much texture here, so many different looks pulled. It really does come together. It really is cohesive. I really like the costume design in this. Because aside from that, everybody on the ground is masked up and in black hoods and kind of reserved and kind of taken all of their personality away, and they are kind of brought in these circles and dancing in these circles, and it sort of made me think of patriarchy, systemic society, stereotypes, the way that we fall into these tropes, so to speak, and kind of dealing with patriarchy in a sense. And here is this rise of this moment, this rise in power, showing that if we continue to go about living like this, we will fall. And I think that's a really important message to kind of get across.
I liked the black and white color scheme of the short. I think that this is effective because of the world that's being established is like sort of cult-like, and those environments are seen as rigid and black and white. So that fits what's going on. I like the choreography of the short. It's quite ritualistic, which is what seems to be happening here. And I think that the cinematography flows well with that because it is full of motion and it moves a lot and it's not static.
I really enjoy the performance, the music. Overall, it is a great coordination, and I think the music really sits well with the performance, with the choreography, and at the same time, there is the great usage of costumes and contrast between black and white, and also this black and white filter that we have in the film. I think overall, altogether, this was a very interesting and exciting short with a really, really, really deep and powerful music.
I appreciated the choreography in this one. The hooded marchers on the cobblestone ground produced a conformist military feel that was oppressive and controlling, an excellent contrast to the figures in white on the pedestal in the center who seemed fluid and graceful. To me, they seemed to be figures of freedom and beauty. The setting of the huge courtyard was perfect to set up this scene, giving it an historical feel, as did the choice to film it in black and white. The throbbing crescendo of orchestral music added to this stark, dramatic piece.